Hi, this is Bill. So on this demo, I would like to help a lot of developers and architects in basically implementing their code in the correct way because I've seen a lot of questions in the community on how to build structures, how to build arrays, and all of them is basically repetitive. So it means it's a code, one solution that is reusable, and the structure is also reusable. And what you're seeing now is a fully comprehensive reusable code. So I created a helper. So a helper to the GlideRecord, where basically in the GlideRecord, it only has four basic operations from creating, updating, deleting, and of course, reading. And in those concepts, on those four concepts, as you can see here, I basically created multiple calls, a unstructured calls and structured calls together, right? So giving you the ability and power to implement any type of structure, any table, any calls, right? With the correct, of course, software pattern implementation. So I'll show you how I basically run this code. So you can see here that I've been logging from a test script and calling multiple layers of code, implementing solid design patterns. So let us first show you how I basically code them. So in this scripts background that I've created this test scripts. So I was calling the incident repository, and I always mention about having a global logger, right? So the global logger will give you the ability to list down and track any activities or events happening inside your code. And now this repository we created and implemented a repository pattern. So it's another layer before a business layer is basically being called. So we had some examples about incident service, employee service, to name a few. So the incident repository is basically uniquely calling a backend code, which is the GlideRecord helper. So I'll show you that in a bit, but I need to explain to you one step at a time for your understanding. So it's quite comprehensive, but as you basically look deep down on how it's initiated and implemented, you will appreciate how easy it is, and you could utilize this code in building more robust applications, dynamic, reusable, and of course, scalable. So as you can see here, we basically instantiated an incident repository instance. And from there, we start to create data, right? So the data can be coming from a client and so on. It depends. I mean, from a client script going to Ajax, I did a lot of lessons about client scripts and Ajax. And from there, you could reference examples how to utilize this code. So basically, we called create incident, and the create incident now returns a parameter, right? A sysid. And now the sysid is coming from a parameter named data. And as we basically call the sysid, now it gives us the capability from creation and also getting specific one record. So we have two examples ready. We have a create and read. And finally, we go to the update. So since we have a record, you may need to update the record, right? So depending on the parameters, you will see here coming from the source, right? And that source can be from a client script, a flow designer, depending, right? Then that source can now basically pass data, right? And it could be a JSON format, and you could just easily do auto mapping. And I've showed you that before in object-oriented programming, where you could basically map depending on the entities, right? And from there, you could add more logic, right? You can do a count of open incidents. So I created specific functions for the count. And I've seen a lot of code using encoded query, right? So you can see here, you can pass any type of encoded query, right? And as you pass the encoded query, easily you could utilize that any type of encoded query and get the desired results. And I also provided a get by or by conditions. So you'll see here the two parameters that you can pass dynamically as well, and get by end condition. And as we move forward, we also added a glide date time date range, right? So you can see here on that date range, you can dynamically pass a specific date from and to be able to get those records within those date range. So as you basically see this structure, right? So easily you could use this as start off as a template, and from there you can grow the code depending on your business requirements. And now we have basically showing the incident repository and again implementing dependency injection. So now this is the helper that we have initiated. Now, as you know, that the GlideRecord helper, right, you need to pass the table name. So now dynamically you can pass any type of table name already, giving you a lot of flexibility. So the power of the GlideRecord having dynamic table name and also dynamic parameters, right? And as we basically implement the create incident, and as showed earlier, right, then you call the create incident, we can also log, right? So you can still optimize this code, but I'll leave that to you to basically enhance that on your own free time. And since we have the data pass, right, as you can see, it can be any type of structure, right? Then the helper is intelligent enough to basically dissect, right, the structure and type, giving you the ability, right, to pass any type of parameter, and at the same time giving you the feature to pass multiple parameters into a single string, right? So I implemented that with the functions I've created. But before I show you, right, you can get by sysid, as you can see that the table name is already structured. And what I would like to emphasize is the key value pair, right? It's giving you the ability that is your query successful, right? Is your data basically returning the result, right? As you can see here, the get one, you can pass a sysid, right? So eventually I just made it one parameter for your example, but you can have a full structure, right, of JSON like array, passing it as a parameter. You can add that here if needed be, right? And as you pass that, then it will give you the ability to have more fields, right, to pass. And depending on your query, that will be the return fields that you need, right? Same purpose, same approach with the update record, right? So we have implemented that structure, and the delete is quite straightforward, but I wanted to show you how it works to give you a picture, right, on the full create, update, delete, and read operations, right? And as we go complex, right, using the encoded query features of ServiceNow, so you can get by encoded query. So as shown earlier, right, that you can pass the query and at the same time the fields, right? So basically as we move forward, I'll show you the code, right? So you can reuse this respectively depending on your purpose, right? So slowly I'll be you can go back and do a pause, right, and copy my script. And now this is where the magic happens, which is the GlideRecord helper, right? So let us show you the GlideRecord helper. So now as you can see here, that you need to pass a dynamic table name, right? And as we pass a dynamic table name, you will see that the GlideRecord now is being called, right? And as you can see now, we basically did an iteration, right? So this is like JavaScript techniques where you basically separate the key value pair and intelligently, right? ServiceNow uses JavaScript, so mastery of the language gives you a head start, right, on basically implementing correct code, performance, and also secure. So I've showed a lot of examples to help you basically implement efficient code, right? So as you basically implement and call the GlideRecords, you will see you are now making it reusable, scalable, secure, and also traceable, right? So now as we basically scroll down, you will see that I'm using the key value pairs a lot, then array, since this is the strength of JavaScript, right? And depending on the purpose, right? So for example, here, like, is the field type correct, right? So if it's correct, then I'm going to implement this code here, right? Before you will see that I will be basically displaying the value. And of course, I will be returning the result, right, on type of array. Then easily you can get that single record that you want to return, right? And as I move forward, right, so as you already explained, so we pass the encoded query, right? You pass the fields, and I also add the pagination here, which is limited to 5. So you can make it more dynamic if needed be, right? So as you can see here, if you read or look deeper on the structure of the GlideRecord, it's easy to understand, right? As you can see, it's just key value pairs, right? But and what makes it complicated sometimes is we are looking at the surface, right? And the if you look at the encoded query, right, you are just also passing it in an API, right? So it's a canvas basically. That's how I would describe it. And seeing it that way, it will make it easier for you to basically build dynamic code, right? And as you build dynamic code, you only build code once and you can reuse it all throughout your platform and your application. So I'll walk you through, right, and scroll down so you could basically see my code, right, and from there you could reuse this code and give you the ability to make your code more efficient and I would say impressive, giving you a picture of an advanced developer, giving you the ability to code faster and produce results in the shortest period of time. So as I show you this GlideRecord helper, this reusable functions, right? And let us scroll back up, right? And finally, I'd like to show you the BaseLogger, right? So the BaseLogger is another reusable global logger that I use. So it gives you the ability to track and trace, right, your implementation. Is it successful, not successful, right? So it's not only best practice, but I was talking about security earlier, right? It gives you a picture of the behavior, right, of your application, right? Where you're making mistakes, where does it go right, and so on. So it gives you a lot of information in this central place. Now, if something goes wrong or goes right, you know where to look, right? And you can take advantage of the BaseLogger and with integration, of course, with the ServiceNow platform. So if you find my video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe and buy me coffee. And I would basically appreciate a small donation if this techniques has made you improve your skill set and at the same time productive in your projects. Thank you so much. I hope see you again in my next video. I'll see you there.